It is actually all over the place. You find this consumer everywhere, and this consumer has the power to be able to make or break brands.
So if a business is not targeting the Latino community, they're missing out on a large segment of the business.
Our Hispanic audience is using computers. They're web savvy. They have the same tools.
We've seen a significant increase of visitation by the Hispanic community.
Austin, Texas, home to the best live music in the country, and about 500,000 Hispanics. During the last 10 years, the Austin Hispanic population has grown by 72%. Today, 1 in 3 Austinites are Hispanic. In 2009, Austin ranked as the second fastest growing Hispanic market in the nation when compared to the top 25 U.S. Hispanic markets. It's no wonder why year after year, Hispanic Magazine ranks Austin as one of the top cities for Hispanics in the nation.
When I first arrived with the company 2 years ago, I very quickly sat down and looked at the ever-changing demographic of the Austin market and realized very quickly how expansive the Hispanic community was becoming in Austin and how necessary it was to include the Hispanic market in our strategic plan moving forward.
We definitely see the Latino community growing here in Austin today. We know that the population's 35% and growing.
You know, McDonald's launched the new premium roasted McCafe coffee back in September of '08 in the Austin market area. And we knew that we need to speak to Hispanic consumers.
Hispanics in the greater Austin area are younger, more likely to have children, more receptive to new technologies, and have larger households when compared to their non-Hispanic counterparts.
One of the things that we had been told in the past was that a substantial number of our Hispanic audience did not use computers. And so we had to handle things differently when we communicated. And what we found is that no, just like the rest of the community, our Hispanic audience is using computers. They're web savvy.
Many businesses believe that the Hispanic population is largely uninsured if we're talking about healthcare, or perhaps doesn't have the resources necessary to avail themselves of their particular service. We take the approach that we believe that's not the case. The Hispanic population in general is a large contributor to the economic development and well-being of Central Texas.
And while often perceived to have low purchasing power, the greater Austin area Hispanic spending power has actually grown 24% more than spending by non-Hispanics in the last 5 years. This story is not exclusive to Austin, but across Texas and the rest of the nation. And the 2010 census will confirm what many major advertisers already know. The Hispanic market is set to soar. And 2010 is a big year for Hispanics. Businesses can no longer afford to ignore the size and economic strength of the Hispanic market.
The marketing has changed. The level of sophistication has changed. The Hispanic consumer is now respected as a source of business.
We started targeting the Hispanic market in force about 4 years ago, and then we've raised it up a notch in the past 2 years. And in the last year alone, we've seen Hispanic student enrollment grow by about 1,200 students, and that's about 17% of our overall population. So we've had a lot of success.
We feel that the Hispanic market has been underserved for many years in the healthcare arena especially, and especially in the rehabilitation arena. I believe that there's tremendous potential.
But how does a business reach out to Hispanic consumers? According to industry research, Spanish language remains the most effective way to establish rapport, build traffic, and earn their business.
La Apple, nunca yo la he visto en español.
¿Cómo se sienten con eso? ¿Qué les hace pensar?
Yo diría que es discriminación económica.
Me acuerdo que la marca Heineken, la cerveza, antes siempre se ha vendido, pero casi nadie la tomaba. Y desde que la Heineken comenzó a anunciar en español, vas a cualquier fiesta y siempre hay Heineken. Siempre, desde que ellos hicieron el cambio.
Usted ve un comercial en español y uno piensa que no está dirigido para uno. En cambio, si lo hacen en su lengua de uno, sí está dirigido para uno que es hispano.
You trust it better when it's in Spanish.
You know, don't look at where the market is coming from. Look at where the market is going, and arm without understanding, and talk to them in a way that demonstrates that you get it, that you get them, and that you respect them.
Hispanics are quick to embrace American values, yet choose to retain close ties with their language and culture. That's why Spanish language media works. It goes straight to the heart and mind of the Hispanic consumer.
Spanish language communications is here to stay. It's only going to continue to grow. I don't think any major advertiser these days can afford to go without talking to this target. It is short-sighted to not do it because you're going to lose.
Amy, what went wrong? What happened?
Mr. Trump, there was a Spanish-speaking population at the mall that we didn't take into account for, and not only did we not capture some of that audience in the mall because of communication problems, but it also slowed down the efficiency of our line at the very end.
Why didn't you get somebody that could communicate? Does anybody speak Spanish?
Derek and Muna both speak Spanish.
And Derek and Muna stepped up huge to use the Spanish that they had to do it, but had we been able to go out and hire a couple of people?
Well, why didn't you do that? And who's responsible for not hiring somebody that really understood the language?
Can I respond to that?
Why didn't you hire somebody?
I was not aware of the Spanish demographic that was shared. I was meeting with...
All you have to do is look around, in all fairness. Maybe it's not politically correct, but if you have people that only speak Spanish, you have to do something about it, Amy, right? Okay, well, wait. Okay. Before you finish your point, why are you rolling your eyes?
Because, sir, just as you said, you just needed to walk through the food court alone to see that there were so many Hispanic people there.
Was it obvious to you?
I don't think it was obvious, but admittedly, I wasn't really paying attention to who was walking through the mall.
Shouldn't you have been paying attention?
I was very into my book and I was working.
Isn't it all about who's walking through the mall? How can you not consider that to be important? Amy, you're fired.